Module 2. Pre-production and getting organized. Lesson 1. The power of video. Video footage allows your consumers to see inside your business, get a sense of your personality, and feel as if they are there with you at the moment. Videos are an excellent approach to ensure that you are interacting with customers and that you have their attention as well as their interest. Videos help you to establish authority and personalize your message. If you employ video instead of another sort of content, you will be considerably more likely to connect on an emotional level with your audience. Why video is important. 1. Engaging. There's a reason why the finest communicators are generally the best storytellers. A good narrative captivates people. The better your video material is in telling a story, the better it will be accepted. 2. Emotional. Through video as a medium, there is a potential to engage more emotionally with prospects and buyers. Having individuals on camera and connecting can elicit feelings that the written word cannot. A video, even if it's simply your voice over a screen recording, adds context that text alone cannot supply. Videos help you to establish authority and personalize your message. Educational. Visual information is processed faster by our brains than written information. We either store long-term memory or text in short-term memory, and so on. As a result, there are several reasons why video is an excellent teaching medium that may also be more remembered. In today's environment, corporations must prioritize the distribution of educational videos to their personnel. Employees are 75% more likely to watch a video than reading papers, emails, or site articles, according to Forrester research. A video is an excellent platform for successfully communicating information within your firm. Empathetic. The potential to elicit deeper empathy from your audience by, once again, bringing the human face forward. I believe that video and having real people communicate to you about real problems in real language may go a long way. Not only do you want to aid your audience with your film, but you also want to demonstrate that you genuinely care about the issue they are facing and how you can assist them in resolving it. The more genuine you are with your audience, the more likely they will regard you as a trustworthy advisor. Video is now a must, not a suggestion. Whether you operate a big or small business, video is now an unavoidable need. These films not only demonstrate your expertise to others, a video is an excellent method to communicate, whether you need to illustrate a technical procedure for a new product feature or educate your new employee on how to use her email. Over half of the most relevant types of films in which marketers invest are instructional videos. That provides you with a large number of good videos to begin with. Lesson 2. Video objectives and strategy. Before you begin preparing, you must first establish the goals of your video. What's the point of producing it? What do you expect to gain from it? Who is the intended audience, and what will they gain from it? A video, like any other sort of material, requires a purpose from the start to lead the production and determine its success. Create your objectives using the SMART technique, which means identifying goals that are specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, time-bound. Who is this video for? A successful video understands who it is speaking to. You may already have a good idea of who your target audience is, what they enjoy, and how they think. If that's the case, please explain it here. If not, it's time to do some research on your target audience. Go beyond simply determining their overall age, gender, and region. What are their most often encountered issues, queries, and interests? What do they have in common? Who are their role models? Conduct interviews, get feedback, and scour your social media accounts to see who is engaging with your business and ask them questions. If you go the additional mile to figure out who this film is for, you'll have a solid base to make decisions on throughout the video creation process. What is your core message? Now that you've determined who you're doing this film for, it's time to consider the facts. Combine them with your objectives and develop your primary message. Consider what your target audience should do after seeing your video and move backward from there. Is it to follow a link, buy your goods, or just subscribe to your YouTube channel? What is the obvious next action you anticipate people to do after viewing your video? Once you've determined that, determine what your audience needs to see in your video to take that action. This will be your main message. Build a video strategy. A video strategy is essential for instilling a long-term perspective in every action you make. During this stage, you must consider the mechanics of how your video will be produced. How will you stick to your budget and meet your deadline? How will this content be utilized and repurposed in order to optimize its return on investment, ROI? While a sound plan is essential for video success, your video approach will develop over time. You shouldn't put too much pressure on yourself to get it properly the first time. Instead, the goal is to create a clear structure to which you can refer that will enable you to generate video in a sustainable manner. This will guarantee that you keep within your budget and that your video has the highest possibility of producing a good ROI for a long time. Write a video production brief. A production brief is a summary of the information you've gathered thus far, and it should be used as a guide throughout the production process to keep everyone on track. It should include information about your video's objectives, target audience, primary message, budget, and deadline. Include a definition of success, such as how you will achieve a good ROI for this video. What's your creative approach? It's time to get started on the content of your video by developing an idea. Draw inspiration from your brief and brainstorm what your video should include, including how things should be presented and what should stand out. Look for ideas from previous videos on the web that have addressed the topic you're presenting. Examine what your rivals have done, and get ideas from videos that you've discovered to be particularly powerful and memorable. Concentrate on what makes them function. Put all this into a strategy for your video content, and you'll have your video's creative approach. Lesson 3. Write your script. It's time to create a script now that you've defined your plan and creative approach. Your creative approach should greatly affect your script, and your research should provide context for the message. Make your script genuine and interesting by choosing simple language that is appropriate for your audience. Be as brief as possible so that the video isn't overly long. And if you've previously planned out places and activities, you may incorporate them into the narrative as well. Create your storyboard. Storyboards allow you to see how your film will be shot and what you will need to create or source material for. It will assist you in translating your thoughts into practical, visual objectives that are tightly matched with portions of the screenplay. As much as you can, describe what you're envisioning for each photo. How does the lighting look? What about the color scheme and framing? As references, use screenshots and visual references from other promotional videos, movies, and photos on the internet. Create a scamp, which is a basic drawn storyboard that indicates what sort of shots you'll need and where you'll need them. The sophistication of this storyboard will be determined by the type of video you're creating. But, in the end, you're the creator, so do what works for you. The essential aim is to establish a shot list in order to ensure you get them all on the day. Lesson 4. Scout locations to film in. Assuming your film is live action rather than animation or motion graphics, you'll need to find shooting venues. Office space or a quiet room with a basic background should do for a short video in which the talent must be shown on camera. If you need to film outside or in specified places, you must obtain authorization in advance. What video equipment do you need? You will need a good camera/phone, a microphone, and lighting. Here is a list of some simple filming equipment you can get locally or online from places such as Amazon. Cast talent. By this point, you should have a good sense of what kind of video you're shooting and whether or not you need to cast actors. If your video requires a voiceover, consider what type of personality and tone the audience you're aiming for will respond to. Is there someone you know or work with who has the right voice for it? Do you have the necessary voice? You can always just use yourself as the voiceover artist. This should be filmed separately and not during the filming. Or is this something that you'll have to outsource? There are several websites that may link you with freelance voiceover artists. You can always just use yourself as the voiceover artist. Lesson 5. Top tips for video pre-production. It takes a lot of little exact work to create an outstanding video or short film. Pre-production planning is one of these. If you neglect this stage, you risk having a chaotic shoot, or, worse, a video with no purpose. Include these components in your next video creation. 1. Determine the audience and goals for your video. What's the point of filming a video? Who is it intended for? What are your plans for it? 2. Scout locations. Check out prospective filming locations ahead of time. This allows you to choose the optimal locations to shoot based on lighting, aesthetics, and sound quality. 3. Create a storyboard. A storyboard is similar to a comic strip in that it shows every shot in the video. When working on more intricate works, sketching out each shot allows you to visualize how everything will go together during editing. 4. Prepare a shot list. Storyboards are extended by shot lists. Once you've decided on the overall aesthetic of your piece, you may split it down into individual pictures. You may then decide how you frame each one, what the viewpoint will be, and what the action will be. Shot lists assist you in directing your efforts so that your final output resembles your storyboard. They also save time when it comes to setup and editing. 6. Set up a production schedule. Make a list or chart of the days and times you want to film each scene and shot. Keep it handy. The additional aspects you include in your production plan will be determined by the scale of your production. Distribute your schedule to all parties involved. This will keep everyone on track and on time. 7. Pre-interview subjects. Don't wing it when filming an interview. Spend some time with your interviewees, either before the session or before the camera rolls, and have them answer the questions you'll be asking during the interview. This will allow them to practice and become acquainted with the procedure. Take careful notes. If your subjects become anxious in front of the camera, you might ask them to repeat their replies during an official take. 8. Write a script or outline. You may even lightly plan your subjects' responses and use these prepared sentences to prod them. This allows them to be brief while hitting all of their major points. You want them to feel at ease, so let them know they may change the script or collaborate on it to ensure it feels natural to them. This guarantees that you cover the themes you want to discuss and that you have the sound bites you need to be more efficient in the editing room. 9. Be flexible. Things change no matter how well you prepare. It's to be anticipated because video shootings are fluid and unexpected, with a lot of moving pieces. When things go wrong, be receptive to recommendations from your staff. Sometimes, the alterations are lucky accidents that elevate a video. You do not have to utilize every single element in this piece. It will most likely differ depending on the type of video you are shooting. For instance, there are distinctions between filming a short film and an interview piece, or between producing a training video and a social media video. But, ideally, this helps you appreciate the importance of pre-production planning in the video production process and provides you with some approaches to employ. Happy organizing!